This third area then of the SWOT analysis, we're going to look at the opportunities, which is obviously the O within SWOT. So what are we talking about when we're looking at opportunities? Well, really what we're looking at here is the ways in which, the opportunities in which the business can grow. So we're looking at business growth. So how is it that the business could potentially grow? What are the opportunities for business growth? And there are a number of things that we can look at here. Obviously this is in general, this is overall, but one of the first things might well be, can we increase our profit? Is there a way in which we can make more money from our operation? So one thing that we'd be looking to do is to make more money, to make a greater profit. And obviously you remember that most of the businesses that we're looking at in this unit will be private organisations within the sport and active leisure industry, and obviously one of their main goals is indeed to make a profit. So that could be one of our first things. The second thing that we might want to do is to look at increasing market share. Increasing market share. So what does that mean? Well, what we're talking about here is trying to get more of the business, trying to get more business from our competitors. So if we're, for example, working in a private sports club in a town and we only have 20% of the business coming to us and other people going elsewhere to our competitors, we want to see if we can try to increase our market share. So let's say up to 30%. That would be an example of market share. Let's just make a point of that. So we're looking to increase market share potentially. Another area that we might look to increase is the size of the operation. Now this doesn't necessarily mean increase in profit, but it could mean increase in the number of clubs that we run or the number of people that we employ, for example. So there are all sorts of different ways in which the business could grow. A further way in which we could look at business growth, and this ties in with size and profitability and also with market share, is increasing or looking at ways in which we can look to increase the membership numbers. So again, if we are a sports club working in the sport and active leisure industry, we might look to see if we can increase the number of people that are coming through our doors and becoming members. And that could, for example, we'll come back to this in a moment, include membership for families, family memberships, for example. So another area that we can look at is what we call trends. And what do we mean by that? So we're talking about trends in the market. So what is happening in our marketplace that is currently on vogue, it is currently of interest to our customers, and is there anything that we could offer? Here's an example. So it could be that, and this is just completely made up, but it could be that hula hooping has a massive craze, and therefore lots and lots of people want to do it, they want to come to clubs, they want to learn to do it, and it's a good aerobic workout. So that might be something that we might want to capitalize on and offer classes on hula hoop. Another thing which is tied with our trends is having a look at what gaps there are in the market. You can see that that could be tied there. And what we mean by this is it's a little bit different from trends. What we're talking about here is, what can the business offer? What can the business offer which other businesses don't? What can the business offer which is unique or which is different from what other people are doing? So what can the business offer? Okay, or what can the business provide which other businesses aren't at the moment? Are there any gaps? Are there any, sometimes we refer to these as niches in the market, which we could capitalize on? Moving on then, another area for opportunities that we could examine are our services. So what we're looking at here is, what are we currently doing? What are we currently offering? What's our current level of services that we're providing? We could also look at any new services that we might want to think about delivering. And then of course, in terms of services, we can look at both current and new in terms of the way in which we improve what we're doing. So how can we improve what we're doing, both in terms of current offering and new offering, remembering of course that this is all linked back to hopefully making a profit, getting more people to come in to our club. And that leads us on to our next idea, which is this idea of what incentives or schemes are we offering, or could we offer if we're not offering already. So what initiatives, and this is a very difficult word for me to spell, what initiatives are we offering in order to get more people into the club? And again, as we mentioned earlier, this could relate to membership, and it could be about individual members, it could be about couples, it could be about family membership as well, okay, with the little ones coming in. All sorts of things that we might do to increase our initiatives or our schemes, or to encourage people to join our club. And the last one I wanted us to look at just now was this idea of what is our marketing like? What is our marketing presence like? What is it that we do to let our potential customers know that we're out there? And with reference to that, we need to think very carefully about our digital marketing. What are we doing in terms of the digital space? And following from that, we need to look at social media. So one or two of the obvious ones are, so we might look at, okay, how good is our website? Is it up to date? Is it current? Is it engaging? Is it attractive? What about our social media platform? Are we on Twitter? Are we on Facebook, for example? So let's have a recap then. We've had a look at a number of different ways in which we might look at opportunities in order to increase our business, to grow the business. So that's the key point. Growth of business. That might include looking at how we can improve profit. It might include how we might improve market share, the size of the business or organisation, how we increase membership. We've looked at trends and trends in the market and how they might help us, and also identifying gaps in the market and what that might mean for us. One of the crucial things is looking at what we're currently doing in terms of our services. Can we improve those services? And also, is there anything new that we can do to improve upon what we're already doing? In order to make that profit, in order to improve our numbers, we need to look at schemes. Are there any things particularly in terms of initiatives that we can do to increase our membership, for example? And then lastly, we looked at our marketing presence. What are we doing in terms of our marketing? What are we doing to increase our exposures to the public about our sports and active leisure business? And what particularly is our presence in the digital space, especially social media and our website? So that's an overview of the sorts of things that we should be looking at when it comes to opportunities. Next, let's have a look at threats.